Hello, everyone. This is Barb Techel from joyfulpause.com. If you are new here, pause is PAWS. I do have some new followers here on YouTube, my YouTube channel, so thank you for being here. And just a little background on Joyful Pause. It's the animals in my life that I've gained so much wisdom from, that have helped me on my journey, helped me heal in so many different ways that I'm so grateful for. And it's really the animals that taught me to pause, Pause. And that is why, my website is called Joyful Pause, PAWS.com. And it's why I do the work I do, helping others heal through the wisdom of animals as well as oracle cards. And that is what I'm here to help you with today for the month of September. And as I pulled a theme for this month, I really feel like this is a message really for pretty much the rest of the year, or at least through a good part of November. And I'll explain a little bit about that in just a few minutes. But I looked at the question, how do we heal what most needs our attention right now? And I think if we really take the time and sit in meditation, walk in nature, whatever it is that you do to help center yourself and really be with all the many thoughts that go through your mind, you have an idea of what it is that needs your attention right now and what really needs to be healed. Yeah, sometimes that stuff is hard to look at, but we all know deep down inside what that is, right? So I just felt this was really important question. I am someone who follows astrology. That helps me on my path. It's one of the tools I use. And astrologically, it is very, very interesting that we are in this very powerful time. I won't get into all the planets because I'm not an astrologer, but if you are and you have a little inkling, Pluto, the planet of Pluto right now is in the sign of Capricorn. And it will not be in that place again until 2254. And most of us probably won't be here, right? So this is an extremely powerful time. And Pluto and Capricorn is going back into that placement starting September 2nd through November 19th. So again, this is a potent time, and it's a time where we are being called and we have this opportunity to clear out what no longer works for us. It's a time to move through upsets and to let go of emotional baggage. We all carry it. We all carry some sort of emotional baggage. And to energetically clear all that so we can move forward in a more productive, a more heart centered way, a more authentic way, and really step into the power who we each are, right? So I really loved when I posed the question to the Wisdom of the Oracle deck that I have. How do we heal what most needs attention right now? And the card I pulled is New Life. And it couldn't be more perfect because we cannot get to this new life, this new way of being, this, maybe you've heard it said as new earth, until we clear out all this gunk that we have been carrying. And I did hear one astrologer say this is gunk that we have been carrying at least since 2008. So if you look back on, if you can remember what happened to you in 2008, and then the years that have led up now to 2024, those are going to be some clues for you of what you are being asked to let go of. And when I sat with that and I thought about 2008, first of all, it was the year that I published my first children's book, which was very exciting. But at the same time, I remember in 2008, that was the big financial crash and crunch. And at that time, my husband and I had to make some really tough decisions financially. He owns a small business, a construction business, and we were watching our retirement money that was going to carry us into retirement. We were watching that just depreciate, depreciate, depreciate. And we had to make this decision. Do we want to go forward with our business and keep that going? And so we had to make a really tough decision of pulling that retirement money paying off the mortgage on our house so we could survive through that financial crunch. And then 6 years ago, I went through a big healing, healing my childhood trauma. Um, and so when I look back, wow, there were some big things. So it's a time for you to sit with that as well. Look from 2008 and up until this time, what things were you being called to heal? And if you haven't done that work yet, this is the time to let that go. Maybe there's some final touches you need to do on that. I know there is for me. I am looking at that for myself personally too. But we've got to heal that so we can bring this new life in and we can live from the heart center and the authenticity of who we each are. So, as usual, I did pull cards that you can pick a number 1, 2, or 3, and these are going to be your personal cards to go with the theme of new life. And so I'm just going to give you a moment to think about that. And I pulled cards from my Animal Reflections Healing Oracle, so you have an animal guide. And I know this is the reading for the month of September, but I would take this with you through November 19th, just to be aware and just see, I'll pull cards again for October and November, and those will just play into, I think, this new life theme that we are working on and this emotional baggage that we're clearing. So if you are ready, I am going to pull. Oh, the other card that deck that I worked with is the Inner Child Oracle. I don't have them sitting here in front of me, but the Inner Child Oracle and also Animal Reflections Healing Oracle. So I invite you to stay for all 3 cards, or all three messages, because as I look at them side by side or all in a row here, whereas we are energy in motion, our stories are energy in motion. And I can just see as I look at these 3 cards how they all play together in bringing in this new life. So I'm going to start with, number 1 this time, because just how I see the flow and why I'm inviting you to stay for all the messages, because I think they will all be very helpful for you. So, but if you pick number 1, this is your area of focus. And the Inner Child card is a time to remember and to look back on your childhood. This has been a big part of my work, a big part of my own healing journey, is looking at how my inner child wounds played out in my life and how it created patterns. So this is a call for you to look at looking back in your childhood. And this is not about blaming or shaming, how you were raised, what actually, what trauma or what wounding did happen in your life. This is all part of a spiritual journey for each one of us. Because if we sit in blame and shame, we cannot move forward. That's part of letting go of that emotional baggage, right? So you're being called to look at a time to remember, looking back at your childhood, and then looking at your life in relation to that. And maybe how did things play out in your life that can relate to that? And then how can you change that? How can you can't change what happened, but you can heal the emotional wound and pain that is around that. You can heal that. I know that because I've done that for myself. And the animal that is guiding you is turtle and security. And I really think, first of all, I love turtle because this is really about, when we're moving through emotional baggage, it can be painful, but we have to allow those emotions to come to the surface. And that takes time. And we just have to go with the flow of that and allow ourselves space, allow ourselves to be with what's coming up, and to know that we are in this moment and this time. If you check in, when you're reflecting on childhood things and things that may have been painful, a big part of our inner child self sometimes still lives there. But we are being called to remember that we are safe in this moment. That is something that I have done in my healing journey, especially when it was very, very intense, when I was releasing that, that secret, that trauma that I had kept suppressed for 25 plus years. I reminded myself over and over that I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. Because the reality was, as I was healing that past trauma, in this moment, in that moment, I was safe. I was secure. I was okay. So be gentle with yourselves. Go with the flow. Allow things to come up in order to heal them. So if you pick number 2, your inner child card is you do not have to go it alone. Reach out for support in this time. You do not have to go it alone. How many of us think we're all alone in this journey, but there are so many of us. Oh, now I'm getting emotional. There are so many of us doing this important inner work. And this is what's going to shift this planet. And you aren't alone. Trust me, you are not alone. And reach out for support. You know, that's why I'm here. That's why I do what I do, because I've walked this journey and I've come out the other side. And I know it's not easy, but I know it can be done. And I have reached out for help when I've needed help. And it's one of the best things I have ever done for myself. And the animal message that you have to go with reaching out for help and knowing you're not alone is frog and change. And I really feel like this is speaking to the part of us that can feel afraid to reach out for help, because it sometimes, believe it or not, we are afraid of change because there's that uncertainty piece of what that's going to look like if we deal with what needs to be dealt with. But change brings about new life, right? And you are entitled to have this new life and to live with more change. And I just love how the frog is looking up at this flower. When I found this image to create this card, I just felt such love from this card. And I just love how the frog is in such unity with the flower. And remembering that we aren't alone, that nature is supporting us. You know, nature, I'm just going to say nature is supporting us because it's so true. There are forces supporting us that we may not be able to visibly see, but they are there. And I will tell you one thing, the animals are there. They are our biggest cheerleaders in helping us to heal what needs to be healed. So if you picked cards number 3, your inner child card is you know the way. Trust your intuition on this journey. Trust your intuition on this journey. And I will say again, that was a big, big one for me when 6 years ago I, let go of, finally gave voice to my childhood trauma, because I didn't trust the vision that I had carried with me all these years. That I really thought it was crazy for a time there, but it was really my intuition saying this is what is trying to emerge, what is trying to be healed, and your intuition is right. You've got to follow that. And you know what? We all know the way. We do know the way. We just let this emotional baggage weigh us down, and it's time to let that go. So that is your, if you pick 3, that is, you know the way, trust your intuition on this journey. And I love the animal guide that is going with you, which is be and purpose. And our purpose, truly, I believe, it just has really sunk in for me, probably the last couple of months or so. It's really sunk in that our purpose is here. Our purpose here is to heal what needs to heal, and to step into this new life, to step into the life we were brought to this planet to experience, which is happiness and joy. And we can be that. We absolutely can be that. And we can enjoy. We are here to enjoy all the sweetness and the nectar of life, right? So when I look at all 3 cards in a row, which I wanted you to stay for the whole reading so you could see this, in order to step into this new life, it is a time to remember, look back at our childhood. Where did we create these patterns from? Emotional pain or emotional wounds? And know that we are safe and secure in healing those. We are safe and secure in this moment. And we just have to heal that past patterning and wounding. And that we don't have to do it alone. There are people here willing to help us and guide us. I am one of those people, more than willing to look at the challenges that you are going through and how Can you shift that, look at it in a different way in order to help you move forward? And don't be afraid of change. Change brings freedom. Change brings freedom. Definitely something I've experienced as well. And then to remember, we all know the way. We definitely know, we all know the way. And we are being called to step into our intuition, to step into our personal power as the way forward. And that is the purpose. That is the purpose for each one of us on this planet at this time. Oh, wow. What a potent reading, right? So I hope that was helpful. Please do let me know in the comments below. I really love hearing from others. And you never know, what you say is probably going to help somebody else who has watched this video and then tunes into the comments as well. We are each here helping each of us along on this journey. And I so wish the best for each of you. We can do this. The next couple of months are going to be a little tough, but when we feel that intensity, that means step back, do some meditation, go for a walk in nature, connect to your breath, reach out for help, and know that you're not alone. All right, everybody, take good care, and I will see you again in October. Bye for now.